The simple reason Bitcoin's probably going to continue up is this. I'm going to tell you right now in one sentence that you don't even have to watch this whole video. You ready? The simple reason Bitcoin is probably going to continue up is because it's done the same thing for the past 12 years every single time. That's it. And in this video, I'm not going to give you my opinions because there's enough of that on the internet. We don't need any more opinions and price predictions and projections. What we need to look at are some objective facts about reality. So we're going to get a fax machine and we actually probably won't need a fax machine, but we're going to look at some objective facts. And an objective fact is a statement about reality that is true, whether or not you believe it. And that, my friend, is what we're going to look at here in this video. And you can take these facts, these things that you can confirm to be true, independent of my opinion, and then you can come to your own conclusion. Now, today I made a post in my Telegram channel. This is a free Telegram channel I've been running for 6 years. We've got 60,000 members in it right now. I just post my daily analysis, trades, insights, things like that. So I've been running this for like 6.5 years. I just post my daily analysis. It's mostly Forex trading. But today I posted a little bit about Bitcoin. Posted about where I think long-term she's going to go, and we're going to get into it. Now let's start here on the chart. And by the way, if you want to join this free Telegram channel, first link in the description. You can join instantly. It's right there. It's free. You have nothing to lose by joining it. First link in the description. So here's the Bitcoin price chart. Now we're going to keep it very simple. Okay, you're probably sick and tired of all these crazy, really long drawn out analyses and all this crazy stuff. I don't use anything on my chart. Nothing. Today I'm just going to show you some very simple things. Now, first and foremost, let's look at Bitcoin long term. Okay? So we're on the 1 hour. Let's go to the weekly chart. So now we have a Bitcoin price long term going back into 2012. We're currently in 2024 right now, May of 2024. This is the past 12 years of price data. Now, right now, what we're looking at is we're just looking at a normal chart. Okay, this is called a linear chart. What this means is that it accounts for the value of price movement. So whatever, like if price goes up $1, it'll be proportionate. Like this will show that it moved like a lot of dollars right here, from 5K to 62K, over 55K of price movement. So it just shows like, it went up, it went down, went up, went down. However, an interesting way to approach an asset like Bitcoin is to look at a logarithmic chart. Now, let's go on here. I'm going to do some magic juju. I'm going to click this in the lower right-hand corner of my trading view layout. I'm going to click it. And then instead of regular, it's just, linear chart, I'm going to go to logarithmic. And as soon as I click this, watch instantly how your brain begins to recognize what's going on, okay? You're looking at the chart right now. We're going to click it in 3, 2, 1. This is the same chart. But you may be asking yourself, what the F is going on? Here's what's going on. Instead of the value of the price movements being calculated based on dollar amounts like it just was, this is now calculated based on percentages. And the moves up and down are proportionate to the amount of percentage that this asset, in this case Bitcoin, has moved up or down. It's just looking at a chart based on percentage increases and decreases, essentially what a logarithmic chart is. Now, this is very useful in Bitcoin because it allows you to contextualize what it means for Bitcoin to go up and then pull back and then go up and pull back. So let's first go back here. Back when we were just all kids. Maybe you're older. Maybe you were not a kid at this time. I was a little kid. I was in like high school at this time. This is December of 2011. This is beginning of 2012. We're just going to start at the beginning of 2012. Bitcoin had a move up 12,000%. Bitcoin had a move down 80%. You with me? We had another move up. Bitcoin went up 2,000%. Bitcoin pulled back 85%. We had another move up 12,000%. Bitcoin pulled back 80%. You noticing a pattern here? Bitcoin went up. We didn't really make a higher high. It was just, 300%. But then we pulled back 70%. Big move up, pull back 75, 80%. That's been the kind of the trend, right? So let's have a look at what's happened more recently. The last major bull run from after pandemic in 2020 up until now, we had a move up 1,500%. We had a pullback 75%. In fact, I didn't even get it from the high. So if we go all the way from the high down here, almost 80%, about 78%. Now, price has currently been going up. And then we find ourselves today where Bitcoin currently is at. Now, if you've learned anything about what a basic uptrend looks like, you might be looking at this and thinking to yourself, wow, how much more complicated could it get? And you may be wondering, like, is it truly just this simple that price is making higher highs and higher lows? And if we're looking at a logarithmic chart accounting for percentages, and Bitcoin does the same damn thing that it's done every time for the past 12 years, doesn't it make sense to just say that price would go up? Now, a lot of people might think, oh, okay, like, it can't be that simple. There has to be something else going on. Well, let me tell you something, and I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to let you see my whole face here for a second. It is that simple. It is an objective fact about reality. Bitcoin goes up a lot of percent, anywhere from a couple 100% to 1,000%, all the way up to 12,000%. And then Bitcoin pulls back somewhere in the neighborhood of like 75 to 80%. And then it goes up again, in many cases, thousands of percent. And then it pulls back again, 75 to 80%. I've just showed you that this is the objective reality. And this is what Bitcoin has done every time for the past 12 years. And it's true whether or not you believe it. Now we're going to look at something even more. But wait, there's more. We're going to go get a fax machine. I swear, in just a second, we're going to get a fax machine. We're going to print out some undeniable, undisputable facts. If price does the same exact thing that it's been doing every time for the past 12 years, I'm screaming from the top of the mountain, same thing over and over again because it's all that really matters. If history is going to repeat itself, which past performance doesn't indicate future results, it doesn't necessarily represent that. Trading is risky. Most people lose money. You're probably going to lose all your money listening to everything I say in this video. However, I am just pointing out that if Bitcoin does kind of the same thing it's done, let's say it just goes and it makes a new high, somewhere up here, then it pulls back again. This will be a move of about, 1,500%, sort of like the same thing it does in these times, right? This is like 1,000%. That is 8,000%. The move from here to here is 1,200%. So if it does sort of the same thing, right? It goes up here, maybe like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, 1,500%. The same thing, just goes up here, makes a higher high, kind of in line with where the previous higher highs have been. Look at what the price of Bitcoin would likely be. It's going to be around 200K to 300K per coin. Now, this may sound ridiculous, especially when you look at a regular linear chart. You can't even you can't even see it, because this is how far that price move would have to be. And it looks kind of insane, right? I mean, it already looks insane just having gone from something like this in 2020 up to seeing how high it went up here in March. And then you're trying to have people say, there's no way it's going to go this high. Look at how high that would be. That's crazy. That's insane. That doesn't make any sense until you go out to the long-term logarithmic chart. And then you contextualize it and you say, in terms of percentages, this is nothing. Bitcoin has literally done this, actually more than this, every single time, like 6 or 7 times in a row for the past 12 years. This is nothing. This is why a lot of people are pretty confident that Bitcoin most likely, at some point in the future, is probably going to go up. Now, again, I'm not saying that's what will happen because nobody can predict the future. Crazy stuff can happen. Trends don't always continue. Yes, yada, yada, yada. However, this is why most people think Bitcoin's probably going to continue up. But wait, there's more. I'm dying because I don't have a fax machine right now. You're going to have to bear with me because there's so many facts right now. I'm getting so many faxes that there's just so many facts all around me that I'm living in a different version of reality in which the facts are just the precedent and there's no opinions or arbitrary assertions or unjustified opinions or statements whatsoever. There's just nothing but facts all around me. I'm going to have to get 17 different fax machines just to be able to uncover all of these facts and process them possibly. There is more. Do you know what a Bitcoin halving is? Look it up on Google. Very, very simple. There's this thing that happens to Bitcoin called a Bitcoin halving. I'm not going to go into detail about it because this is public information. So you can just go find on your own very quickly for free. But we're going to look at what happens every time this event called a Bitcoin halving occurs. This is all you need to know. Very simple. We're going to turn it on. What's this? You're looking at yourself. Nick said he doesn't use indicators, but there's like 4 vertical yellow lines. What's going on, bro? Here's what a Bitcoin halving is. It's an event that happens followed by Bitcoin experiencing a huge surge up in price shortly after a Bitcoin halving. We had the first halving back when I was a wee lad 12 years ago, back in 2012. We had the second halving back in 2016. These are scheduled events that were built into the blockchain for Bitcoin from its inception. Bitcoin halved right here. It had another experience, like a couple thousand percentage move up. We had another Bitcoin halving right here. Bitcoin went up, in this case, like 800%. Now, we've just had another halving. I want you to look at something on the chart. When this halving occurred, that happened. When this halving occurred, that happened. When this halving occurred, that happened. And this halving has just occurred as well. I can't draw an arrow, right? Because nobody knows what will happen, blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying is let's just use a little bit of common sense, right? And I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to think for you. You're going to have to think for yourself. If Bitcoin did this here, and then Bitcoin did this right here, and then did it a third time this last time, and then now it just happened again, I wonder what will happen in the future. Come to your own damn conclusions. I'm just showing you what the FAX are. The facts are right here on the screen. We're looking at some cold, hard facts right here, guys. You understand me? This is what we're looking. We're looking at the real stuff. Here's all I'm saying. In the totality of the circumstances, the totality of Bitcoin going up a couple 1,000%, then pulling back 80%, then doing it again and again and again and again and again, and it's just done it right now. We've pulled back. Whatever I said, it was 78% from the very peak of the highs. I'm not getting it perfectly right because such a small area to click, but 77, 80%. It's pulled back almost 80%. We're on the move back up. It's only gone up 300%. These last moves up are way more percentages than that. The high hundreds to the thousands. And if we just go up and make a higher high somewhere up here, let's say, a little over 1,000%. Bitcoin is going to be $250,000 if that happens. You add fuel to the fire by noticing that there's also just recently been a halving. As you work your way down to the time frames, you realize the Bitcoin halving occurred. Price, started to go up barely, but then we had a huge pullback down like 11%. But then over the course of barely the last 3 days, Bitcoin is now up 13%. There is a reason why we have statements such as history predicts itself. There is a reason we have statements such as the market has continued to go up for a very long period of time. Therefore, it's not completely foolish to believe that the market is likely to continue up. There is a reason why we have things such as the trend is your friend. There is a reason why people believe that a trend that has been intact for an extended period of time is more likely to continue than end. I want you to take everything I've said in this video, which is all, remember, what's the word? They're objective facts. That's right. I want you to go out and I want you to buy 17 fax machines and I want you to put them all around the space that you trade at. And I want you to just start printing out facts about reality. Whenever you have your beliefs conform to what objective reality is, I believe you are more likely to get better results. And this is not just in your personal life. This is not just in your business or career life. This is in your trading life. When you can get out of the habit of using mental gymnastics and baseless assertions and unjustified statements, and instead you look at the facts, fam. This is when you start to be able to shape your beliefs based on what reality is. I'm not telling you what your beliefs should be in this video. I have simply given you what the reality is. And now it's on you as to whether or not you want your beliefs to conform to this reality. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, do whatever the hell you want. I have my free Telegram channel link. It's the first link in the description. Probably even put it in the pinned comment. And I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Go get some facts.